I have been an active quizzer since school days. I mean, I remember, my first quizzing memory was in class two. So in Durga Puja, quizzes used to happen in our block in Kolkata. So I managed to win a quiz when I was in class two. And my uncle, with the 50 rupees that I had won in that quiz, my uncle had gifted me a silver plate and put my name on it, right? So that has stuck with me, and that actually started my quizzing journey. After that, I quizzed a lot in school and college, and I have also done a lot of theatre in Kolkata. And so I thought, hosting quizzes was a very happy marriage of both the theatre and my love for quizzing. So around, I think, the third year of engineering, 2006, I think that will be, there were some friends who had called me to host some quizzes in their college in Kolkata. And slowly but surely, I started to get a bit popular. And I think in 2010, finally, I had managed to crack IFT. But before, that was my last trimester actually in IFT, 2010. But before I joined my job, my first job was in Daimler in Chennai. Before that, I had a 4-month period in which I did not have to go to classes, because in IFT, we are lucky to have the last trimester mostly as a dissertation project and NGO project. So during that time, I hosted around, I think, 10 quizzes in 2 months. And it started to, fuel the passion in me to do more with my quizzing hobby and do more with, the hosting part of it and designing proper knowledge solutions. And I was lucky that, I was good friends with Kunal also, who was studying in Jadavpur University at that point of time. And I think it was on one day when I had hosted a quiz at IIT Kharagpur, and I called up Kunal and told him, how was my experience. And he said, why don't we try and do a really big open business quiz. So in, I think, around April 2010, we did an open business quiz for many people in Kolkata. There were people from Odisha also who had traveled for that. And that was pretty successful, and we got really a great support from a lot of seniors in the community and a lot of young quizzers as well. That time, I think me and Kunal sat together once, and as they say, a lot can happen over coffee. We sat in a cafe coffee day and decided to start this initiative called Gyaanspace, which will not only be into hosting quizzes and designing knowledge solutions, it will also be into designing educational solutions for schools, corporates, employee engagement events, and using basically knowledge and trivia to not only entertain but educate as well, and most importantly, engage. So even if you have like a dull topic, say like the HR policies that are in companies, right? How do we make it more interesting? We make it more interesting through an online game or through a quiz or a very carefully crafted question. So that is what we wanted to do. We wanted to take our core habit or core hobby of garnering knowledge and trivia and delivering knowledge and trivia, and make it into a more structured effort where we could pass on what we have learned to customers as well. So in the lockdown specifically, I would like to say, in terms of sheer volume, definitely our company stands out. I mean, we have quizzes running every day. It's not just a weekly thing for us. We have a series called Cash, which is basically a multiple choice quiz series on various themes each week, which is active for a period of 7 days. Each series is active for a period of 7 days. So every time you log on to our portal or basically a Linktree link, you can see some quizzes running. We are also now doing a daily IPL quiz. So whenever you come to Gyaanspace or engage with us, you know that there is something happening. There is never a dull moment with Gyaanspace, okay? So there is always some sort of engagement happening. There's always a quiz you can take part. There's always some knowledge that you can gain through Gyaanspace initiatives each and every day of the week. And that is, I think, somewhere where we definitely stand out. And another way I think we would like to think that we stand out is we have the ability to make very dull and dry topics interesting. So with one of our corporate clients with whom we have been involved for around 5 years now, we have regularly done online quizzes on topics such as rewards and recognition, health benefits. So anything that is something that an employee will just read and forget and probably ignore the mail, we make it into a more gamified format, and that allows the employee to recall more of what the company is trying to deliver. Even now, right now, we are working very closely with Amazon, and again, Amazon, to market few specific products, uses our solutions and our questions to make very, very mundane, dry, product-based topics also interesting. So I think that is a very core competency that we have, we believe, in which we can actually make extremely supposedly boring topics come to life. That is one major differentiation, and the second part is, of course, the sheer volume of quizzes that we have going right. That is, of course, that's a very, very big challenge, and especially during the lockdown, I'm sure you're very aware that the number of quizzes has gone up many-fold. I mean, initially there were like 2 or 3 of us who were actually conducting online quizzes, but now there are so many other quizzes going on right now. So obviously, it's a challenge to keep our customers interested. Of course, one basic way where we try to keep customers engaged is coming up with newer and newer formats, right? So we started off with the Cash series, which is basically a series of multiple choice quizzes, which is online for 7 days. Each series is online for 7 days. Every week we have a different theme. So every week we get some unique set of audiences. So one week if it's music, the next week it could be superheroes, the next week it could be science and technology. So we keep coming up with different topics. We also keep coming up with different formats. So apart from the Cash series of multiple choice quizzes, we also have the weekly series, which is a live quiz on Google Meet or Zoom every week on Saturday, which we do again on various topics. We have had Marvel cinemas, we have had Harry Potter, we have had, even now we are trying to put in a breath of fresh air by including guest quizmasters, because of course it might be a challenge for every week if you see the same face, right? So we have had star quizmasters like Major Chandrakant Nair as well, posting a science and technology quiz for us. So we are trying to include freshness every time in the weekly product, not only with newer topics, but now with newer quizmasters as well. And now we are also giving fans, the IPL fans specifically, an opportunity to engage on a daily basis. So we are doing a daily IPL quiz at 9 p.m., which is a short, fast, 30-minute affair. So that's what we are trying to do. We are trying to come up with newer and newer formats. And one more format that we had tried out is called Mind Heist. So that is inspired by BBC's Mastermind program, which was very popular. So in this Mind Heist program, which you can check out on YouTube, please subscribe Gyaanspace on YouTube and you can check all the episodes of Mind Heist. So in Mind Heist, what happens is that we have the opportunity of a participant to choose a particular topic of his interest, right? It could be as specific as etymology of elements on the periodic table, or Rafael Nadal at Wimbledon, or say Netflix series for that. So that's one round in that particular quiz, and then we have a common general knowledge round where the 6 participants who have qualified for that particular semi-final play. So that's the thing that we are trying to do. We are continuously trying to come up with newer and newer formats to keep the audience engaged. Specific audience targeting is definitely one. So, for example, in a general quiz, probably the questions could be a little more complicated, because it will the general quiz will probably attract hardcore quizzing audience. So, you will have more of connection questions, or you will have more of slightly cryptic framed questions. But when it comes to say a quiz like a topic like the IPL or Marvel cinemas, there we are mainly going to target the particular fans of that particular topic, right? Even say a topic like Harry Potter. So you have a lot of school children interested in those topics, right? So in the Harry Potter quiz as well as the Marvel quiz, but a lot of school children taking part. There the questions have to be more straightforward, but the questions have to be more based on how well you follow the topic. It's not how well you are as a quizzer probably, it's how well you follow that particular topic. Even with regards to the IPL, we try to make the questions in a certain way that a fan and casual, actually a hardcore cricket fan, let's say, can compete on the same level as a cricket quizzer. So there are certain topics in which we keep the quizzer in mind mode. There are certain topics in which we keep the fan in mind mode. And yes, we do have a pipeline. Definitely, we make calendars around 3-4 months in advance. So, like for example, Gandhi Jayanti is coming up. So we have a quiz on Mahatma Gandhi coming up on the 2nd of October. Then we have a quiz on stamps. So World Stamps Day is coming up soon, and there's a quiz with regards to the Sustainable Development Goals Week. So I think from 14th to the 26th, the UN is celebrating the Sustainable Development. We are doing a quiz on the Sustainable Development Goals. So basically, we have the dates in mind. So what occasion is on what day, and we try to fit in the quiz according to that as well. So if the IPL is getting started, so we have designed and we have the content ready for the IPL as well. If say, for example, maybe we'll do something around the EPL as well, because the EPL is starting very soon. So those kind of things we always keep in mind. What events are going on around the world, what important days are scheduled. We do keep in mind that. Yes, of course. So just as a short example, I mean, it's probably not a great example, but recently we did a quiz on MS Dhoni, and then we did a quiz on IPL with another platform in collaboration with that. And there actually people took part from Sri Lanka as well. So they were interested and they picked me and they took part. And definitely we are trying to come up with more and more international content. So superheroes was a topic where we opened it up to international audience. So we now have created links where people can pay in foreign currencies as well. So that payment part of it is being taken care of. We are looking to reach out to networks of quizzers in say Dubai and New York because there are active quizzing societies there as well. So we are creating international payment links for each and every quiz that we are doing, and we are trying to circulate in those communities. And there are a few quizzes that we are trying to schedule, keeping in mind the timings of people living outside India. So for example, for a person living in US, probably the 5 p.m. timing that we usually have on Saturday may not work, right? So we are planning to do some special quizzes timed at say at 9:30 p.m. On Saturday in October on specific topics which might be of interest to the international audience. Apart from that, we have also collaborated with this international quizzing platform called Quizando, where we have done a couple of quizzes. One was on European football, and the other was on travel. So yes, and of course the UN quiz that we are doing, that's a worldwide quiz. So we are doing a worldwide quiz on the 24th, which is of October, which is UN Day. So based on international relations. So yes, we are trying to reach more and more out to a global audience. As a quizzer, I mean, to be very honest with you, nothing can obviously beat the experience of being on stage and participating in a live quiz or even conducting a live quiz where you have this direct audience interaction, right? Now also we have audience interaction online, but of course, live quizzing has its own charm. You know what? I mean, this is the new normal. I mean, we can't deny it anymore. I mean, we first, when COVID first came in India, we thought it would be 1 month, then we thought it would be 2 months, then it would be 3 months. But it is here to stay. I mean, we can't do anything about it. We'll obviously hope that medicines come out, vaccines come out, and we are able to resume live interaction again. But yes, I mean, I think the safety norms and the social distancing is going to be a permanent fixture of our lives from now on. So there is no other choice than to adapt, and we have tried to adapt in the best way possible. Quizzing is not only our profession, but it's our passion, and we want to keep it alive, and we want to make as many people happy as possible through our quizzes, right? So obviously, the online quizzing is a reality, and that is where we are focused right now. Actually, to be very honest, earlier our quizzes were mainly targeted at businesses. So we will typically go to a corporate or a school or a college with a solution, and then we will run the event for them and we will do quizzes for them. But now what COVID has forced us to do is it has forced us to reach out directly to the consumer. So from being a B2B company, we have now become a B2C company, right? So we are directly engaging the audience, and the audience is actually booking tickets and playing our quizzes, right? So the whole business model has completely changed, and now we know that in terms of even the volume of business, I mean, we can only sustain if we have a sufficient amount of volume of quizzes and sufficient number of people booking on our platform. Right, so we have to keep coming up with newer and newer events. We cannot survive anymore by doing, say, 4 big on-stage events in a month. Right, so earlier it would be like we will do content for maybe Quiz Up. We did a lot of content for Quiz Up actually, or we did content for KBC, or did a TV show for NDTV, or it's a big event like Cycle Heritage Quiz, which ran for 3 months, when we conducted events in 14 cities, and that would put us in a pretty good state. But now we cannot afford to rely on 2, 3, 4 events. We have to continuously churn out more and more and more solutions for the customer, reach out to the customer. Marketing has to be far more active than ever before. It's not just reaching out to a particular marketing manager in the company anymore. It is about reaching out to the customer, engaging the customer, making the customer believe in us. So the entire business model and the entire business reality for all of us in the quizzing as well as the events industry has changed completely, and we are doing our best to cope up with it, and hopefully our efforts are successful. Yes, of course. Because now, to be very honest, because we have reached out to the audience, these audiences know us. I think I would like to believe that because of the sheer number of quizzes we are doing and the quality of the events and the frequency of the events, the trust of the audience in us has also grown. So we will continue to look to engage our followers through various events online. And of course, the great thing about online is there are no boundaries, right? So if I'm sitting in Kolkata, I'm taking part in an event conducted by a person in Bangalore. I'm sitting in Sri Lanka, I can attend it. I can sitting in New York also, I can attend it. So the boundaries have been broken, and we would like to keep the boundaries open as well. So we don't want to limit our audiences anymore. So since we have, and this way, COVID has given us limitless potential to grow, I believe, in terms of the audience and the number of people we can reach. So yes, out of every dark cloud has a silver lining. So yes, it has definitely opened up newer and newer opportunities for us, and it has also pushed us to create more and more innovative solutions. So definitely we'll continue to conduct the same number of online quizzes in the future as well. Thank you to the entrepreneurship cell of VIT Pune for giving me the opportunity to talk about a subject that is very close to my heart. I mean, for me, I'm very emotional about quizzing. Let's be very honest about it. I mean, it's not just a medium of earning money for me. So, and it is about it's something that I've loved from when I was 7 years old. Hope that everybody who's watching this and everybody who takes part in quizzes, is similarly passionate about it. So don't take part in a quiz where you just have an intention of mugging some facts and blurting it out. Do it if you're passionate about it, if you are interested in knowing trivia, if you are interested in knowing about the world around you. So internalize it, love it, give it your best, be honest about it. I think that's very key in this era of the online quizzes. Honesty in the long run, my friends, definitely pays. So please, when you're taking part in a quiz, play in the right sportsman spirit, because for me, it is not just a hobby, or a profession, it's a sport as well. So play the quizzing sport in the proper sportsman spirit. That's the main message that I would like to give everyone who's watching this interview.